Cause like, what the fuck is up with you? Like, he just, damn, nigga, did this nigga not just move fast? Nigga was carrying that boulder like Braun up the paint. What the fuck? Okay. Two. Like, I come in, would y'all cry if your parents died? We can get it. You know what? Yeah, let's get into that conversation. And that question's for y'all. That's not for me right now. I can answer that question later. I need to see y'all answers. I know some of y'all got some daddy issues and shit, bro. Yeah. Nothing wrong with daddy issues, y'all. Nothing wrong with that. Yep. Dang. Is this because you can't relate, Mango? With a friend of mine said, love my parents, and I couldn't come up with an answer. They don't abuse me or none. You're just very emotionally estranged from your parents. They did like what, the bare minimum? Or maybe a little bit less than the bare minimum. That happens with a lot more people than you think, you know? Like, a lot of people have a lot of parents who have had children and do not do the due diligence that they need to. And my entire game is frozen. Oh, there we go. They love me and they're really active. Oh. But you just don't know if you cry? Probably not my dad or my mother for sure. Does your dad suck? Realize I have never truly cared about someone in a way that doesn't tie back to them. So you've never unconditionally loved anybody? He said, nigga, not here. My bad. Like, if they died, I would be inconvenienced. Okay. Money to keep in contact? Yeah, that's disappointing. A lot of people have a lot of sucky parents. My mom's tripped out on me. Bad. Very bad. But our relationship is a lot better now. I don't know. In your situation, Mango? Love for anyone? I don't know. That's interesting. I don't know. Maybe you have like sociopathic tendencies, or maybe you just don't know how to place it, or maybe you just don't feel it. You know. I feel like there's a lot of things. I definitely can't 100% answer for sure, but like you know, I mean, you definitely feel empathy. I know that for sure. So like maybe it's just how you feel. You know? Do you think that you would have to cry for someone to love them? Is that what you're saying? Because it could be a little bit more complex than that. I don't know about empathy. You don't have empathy? I don't know. Maybe you're a little sociopathic. That could be. I don't know. But just like not necessarily, that's not like the worst thing in the world, I'm not gonna lie. You know, it's just your life, you know. So I'm like, Dexter, I think he's a psychopath, right? Or is he a sociopath? I've never watched the show. But like, we all got problems? Yeah, no, we do all have problems. A sociopath is a little bit like, not really. Dexter cried for some people. Yeah, no. You could just be very apathetic as well. I have very apathetic moments, like really apathetic moments. But they're fairly brief. And to be honest, I catch on to it. So I'm like, hey, you know. I think that's just how my brain works. I don't think that has to do with anything, like trauma-wise or anything. But like I catch on and I'm like, you know, let me calm down. Because I'm not gonna lie, I'll be on TikTok or like something, which I try not to be. But I'll be on TikTok, I'll be scrolling. I'll see some girl and she'll be like crying about low-key like some really stupid like something that isn't that serious. It's not that serious. It's probably in like the C tier. And then I'll be like, what are you crying for? Like, what are you on my app crying for? And then I'm like, you know what? That's kind of apathetic. Like, let me, like, this is her experience. This is something that she's going through. Who knows what she's going through? And then I bring myself back down, you know? Only reason I don't be going out killing niggas doing whatever I want is because I know it's dumb. Not because I actually care. Well, it depends, you know? It's like, I mean, do you feel like killing people? Yeah, no, you might be a sociopath. Do you feel like killing people? Like, is there something, like, are you interested in killing people, you know? Personally, I felt the need to do things like cry to kind of fit the mood. I've always been sort of monotone as a kid, like opening presents and I'd always get my appreciation, but she'd get on me and how she can't really tell about how she can. Oh. Yeah, no, but interested, no, because too much work, but I have thought of it, definitely. I've thought about, like, if I could be an assassin. I'm not gonna lie, I could definitely kill somebody, for sure. I could kill somebody, but I don't want to kill people. And I'm not gonna lie, I definitely have empathy. You might be a sociopath. That's possible, you know? You might be a sociopath. And to you, Craystation, I don't know, everyone's emotions are different. It's a lot easier to understand people knowing their backstory and, like, how they grew up and etc. You know? You could just be a little more emotionally, what do you call it? Stoic. You could be a little emotionally repressed, not purposefully. Like, there's a lot of things, but just knowing that your emotions are there is important. Like, growing up, and it's something that we're working on with my dad, is that he definitely didn't have that, like, at all. Like, his brother died, his dad died, and he didn't cry. And it's not because he didn't love them. It's because, one, it's just one, his perspective, and two, the way that he grew up. You know, him being very heavily, or my family being heavily Christian, you know, is like passing on. Now, when his mom died recently, I think as he's grown, he's become more emotionally attuned, and I've seen him cry and etc. But I've probably seen him cry maybe twice. Actually, no, I seen him cry once. I didn't even see him cry the other time. But like, when it's just those certain things, you might be more on that side. And we try to say I love you more. Don't say it often. But because we know that we love each other, we don't have to say it, you know? So, like, but we've gotten more into physical, like, you know, like hugging, etc., to, like, be more open and expressive about it. I'm just sharing my side. That's just what it is, you know? I'm a fairly emotional person. I don't cry, not because I don't want to, but because, I'm not gonna lie, low-key, this is gonna sound bad, but my mom low-key bullied it out of me for, like, years. So now, like, I can't cry, especially in front of people. Like, I can't choose to at all. That sounds bad, but trust me, my relation, literally, I have a note right here from my mom. It literally says, I love you forever. This is what I came home to from work. So, like, I very much love my family entirely. Thank you. But, like, it's different for everybody. Stop bullying me. I know I sound corny. I'm only kind because it's easier to do and it makes sense, not because I want to. You might be a sociopath. There's nothing, and I'm actually going to say, there's nothing wrong with being a sociopath. As long as you don't fall into, like, you know, the Dexters. Oh, there are people that are born sociopaths or grow up sociopaths and you just live that way. It's just more so up to you how you deal with your relationships, what defines them, and etc. You know? Because there's a difference from, like, going out, killing people, and etc. Because everyone has intrusive thoughts, right? Everybody has intrusive thoughts. Do you act on those intrusive thoughts is more the question. So, like, you can build relationships, have relationships, and feel close with people, even if it feels transactional. That's just the relationships that you have. In those relationships, if they're okay with the other party, then there's no problem, you know? So you just gotta, at the end of the day, live your life how you're living it and live it healthily. Now, if you start killing people, that's different. That's literally different. But yes, of course. So, you know, even if you are, I don't know, maybe you could get checked for that. I don't know how that works. I don't even know if there's, like, therapy that, like, works, but I don't know. I'd say As long as they're not killing people or doing evil shit. I'm not gonna lie, I've talked to multiple people who are like, sociopaths. The last guy that I talked to, this was over Discord, he literally apparently like a week before speaking to me. Because he said, I have a secret, I don't really want to tell it. I was like, I won't judge you. And I didn't judge him. I was genuinely listening. But like, afterwards, I'm like, that's fucking crazy. The nigga killed a dog. And he said he felt good, and it was cool to do. Like, he just executed the dog, like, shot it. Which I don't know why that nigga is allowed firearms. But I'm like, okay. And in my head, I'm like, that's fucking crazy. But I'm just hearing him out. And I'm like, okay, interesting. That's the type of person you don't want to become. That's a nigga. And he literally said that he has a girlfriend. One, apparently she barely speaks English. Which I feel like is already a terrible situation. Because that allows him to be predatory. In the sense of taking advantage of her. She's Asian, barely speaks English. But he's like, he's like, he knows that he should care for her and he wants to care for her. But like, he doesn't really care for her. And he literally told me that with me and this other guy on the call, I don't know if he said it about his girlfriend. I think he said it about his girlfriend. I don't know for sure. He said he could snap, but he said, talking to me, he was like, I could absolutely kill you and not care. Tell him honestly first wants to have a word. Nigga, save yourself. Save yourself. You know. But that nigga wanted to talk to me about Dispatch, so I did. Are there any parallels between me and him? You saying that you don't have empathy and stuff like that, or not knowing the concept of love? Yeah. You're both gay. No, that nigga's not gay. Or bisexual, whatever. But it's funny because the parallel is that you haven't killed anybody. Yeah, no, you're just out there. Your sexuality's whatever. He's bi. What you got? But yeah, no, like, he's done terrible things. You haven't done terrible things. The romantic attraction not really there. That's fine. Like, you can have different types of relationships. Like, this is one thing, like, living outside of the internet and just living your life and really thinking. Nothing, like, it's funny because you'll see a lot of gender war discourse and you'll see a lot of dating discourse on, like, TikTok and stuff like that. And it'll be like, why are you doing this for him? Why is she doing this for you? Why are you not doing this for him? Why are you not doing this for you? When at the end of the day, relationships between the person and what they agree upon is all that matters. If you get in a relationship and your girl, I'm not gonna lie, you could use praying mantis. If you decide that you have sex and she's like, I'm going to rip your head off after we have sex, and you agree to that, as long as there's no coercion, that's low-key perfectly fine. Is that fucking insane? Yes. But if that is what you want to do with your life, apparently that is up to y'all and that is your relationship. I wouldn't say that it's necessarily morally correct, but then again, once again, morals are subjective. Therefore, the relationship that you have with somebody is completely up to y'all. If you say, unless obviously you wouldn't want it to be harmful, but it's going to be harmful depending on the people. If you want to pay for 100% of the things and she doesn't want to pay a thing and y'all both say, I'm okay with this, then that's fine. If you say, hey, I want our relationship to be open, and she says, yeah, I want to go fuck niggas, that's up to y'all. Are there predisposed situations in which these things happen and it doesn't work out? Yes, very true. But at the end of the day, it's what you decided to sign up for. Like, that's your choice. So, like, if your relationships, you feel like you don't have that romantic attraction, and you tell them, like, hey, I don't think I really, like, this is how my brain works, this is how I feel, and, like, I still care for you at this level, but this is how I feel. And they say, I understand that. There's no problem. That they've accepted those terms, they've accepted how you feel, and etc. Like, that's literally just how relationships work. Every relationship is different, and all people are different. This is friendships and etc. Some friends text each other every day. Some friends don't text each other every day. That's the same. It's the same agreement as, like, someone paying for half of something and someone paying 75% of something. Everything is an agreement in a relationship, and it's up to y'all. And that's probably what I'm getting at. So, realistically, once you start living life outside of, like, what I guess you could say societal norm, in the sense that, like, you don't care what other niggas are doing and you just live your own life, and you just think and live that way, like there's less confusion and there's a lot more happiness on your side. If this bald bastard, oh my god, not bald, my bad, bro, just a big forehead, fucking deformed forehead, Berlisi ass forehead. Oh my lord, bro, nigga. But yeah, no.